Hey guys, I'm Sloane Glass. Welcome to the Sloane Series. Take a second. Make sure that you are subscribed. I'm going to show you how to get this ultra glam makeup look. I am so excited. I feel like I've been really focused on all natural, and while that is amazing and more core to my everyday, I cannot wait to just go all out glam. I mean, this is the video you are going to want to watch before you're going out with your girlfriends and you're like, ooh, how much time do I have to get ready? All the time I want in the world? Yeah, thank you. I am talking sparkles on the eyes, lips, a poppin' with the gloss, a full face. It's gonna be amazing, still very wearable, because we wanna make sure that this is the look that you can go out in. I am of the type where getting ready is half the fun. This spray from Too Faced is for priming, setting, and refreshing. So I am going to use it on my bare skin. I love the smell of this one. And then use a bit of the Hangover primer while my skin is still moist. Do you hate that word? I'm sorry. Now I'm putting this over my wet skin because the last thing I want is for my makeup to cling to those dry spots, especially since I'm gonna be putting a lot on today. We're gonna be serving a look. You know what? I'm gonna take my rings off because they're scratching me. Those of you who can do your makeup with your rings on, all the credit to you. Ooh, my skin feels good. I did some really intense exfoliating last night. I'm going to test out the multitasking foundation from Tarte. This is the shade Light Neutral. Okay, so I've never used this foundation before, and I hope that it's the right shade. I love, love, love the bottle because my foundations get super messy, and I really like that instead of a lid that I will lose, it is collapsible. Woo, fun. Okay. I'm going to start in the problem areas and focus there and then spread the foundation throughout, because even though we are doing full face, doesn't mean that we have to cover our beautiful skin. And I say beautiful no matter what your skin looks like, because I'm telling you, this weekend I was so self-conscious of my skin because I have a major picking problem. It's problematic and I have to actually get help. Anyway, let's start on my forehead because that's where I am broken out right now. I think that this is a really good color match for me. So I'm going to go in with a smaller brush with a bit of the foundation and just go over the areas where I need a bit more help. Wow. Okay, I'm getting really good coverage from it. It's very buildable. You know I like a buildable foundation. That's where I'm stopping with my foundation. I don't like applying too many layers of foundation. I think that's concealer's job, so I'm gonna let my concealer do its work. Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Light. I love, 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 love Shape Tape. Yeah, I'm highlighting. I'm also gonna contour today. Woo! Wow, I look really pale right now. I love using a little fluffy brush for any fine details and concealing. This is so fun. I'm using another new product. Naked Skin Shapeshifter. This is the light medium shift. There's a lot of very fun things in this palette, like a couple color correctors, which I didn't use today because I didn't feel like I needed any color correcting, but I am going to use the cream contours. And then we have powder contours as well. When using a cream oh my gosh, it's magnetic! Anyway, when I'm using a cream contour, I like to use my fingers because I like to really warm up the cream against my skin. I'm gonna go in, make sure your hands are clean. I'll kind of tap it on because I don't want to smear the work that I've done. I'm gonna blend it out with brushes, but let's make ourselves look silly for a moment right? Going a bit higher than my natural cheekbone because, I don't know. And I love a good jawline contour. Now, I hope that everyone watching knows that you will not contour your face like this if you have a different face shape than me. And I can do a whole video on that separately, but I have a diamond shaped face, meaning small forehead, small chin, widest in the cheeks. So I contour my face for that reason. Like, you'll notice a lot of people block off their chin. I don't. I do a little bit on the top of my forehead just because I like the way it looks, even though I don't have a very large forehead, but I like to add a bit of definition to it, mostly on the sides around my temples. But for me, it's really focused on the cheeks. Now that I look totally outrageous, I can blend it out. And I always blend in upward motions for my contour. Wow, I love what an actual cool tone contour this is. What that means is it's actually going to add a shadow to your face, but not any bronze. So you'll notice I don't look any darker, but I've added some depth and shadows. This is Tarte's Filtered Light Setting Powder, and it is translucent. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. I'm going to set my makeup. Really, really love this setting powder. It's hard to find a good setting powder. Now I'm going to go back in and do a bit of powder contouring with the same palette, and I'm going to use the cool shade and just kind of carve out a bit more of a cheekbone. I feel like, yes. Love this. Oh my gosh, this is such a perfect contour shade. Okay, that was overboard and I'm gonna have to blend that out. We're gonna come back to it later. Why? Because I feel like it. Make sure you're especially blending upwards on your nose. Otherwise, you're totally defeating the point of a nose contour and you're making your nose look wider because you're going to spread out that dark color. I do want to add a bit more color to my complexion, so I'm going to use this palette from Benefit. I love a cute, good face palette. It has so many amazing colors in it, and they are full size. This is the Blush Bar palette, but you also have that famous Hoola bronzer in it. That's what I'm going to use now, and then I'll go in with the blush shades, maybe still some of that gold too. There's a lot you can explore with. See, for my bronzer, I go farther along in the cheeks because I'm adding color, going all the way down. It's like every place you'd get a suntan over my forehead. Perfect. That's all I'm gonna bronze. Blush, one of my favorite things of all time. First, I'm gonna go in with the Dandelion shade, which is the lightest. Just kind of kiss my cheeks with it a bit because it's the lightest I can build. Isn't that such a pretty, pretty blush shade? I go above my eyebrows with the blush as well. Kind of tie everything together. Then I'm going to go in with the Gold Rush shade. Just kind of like a rose gold. Okay. Now if you're watching at home, you might be like, that's a little too much blush for me. Well, it's not too much blush for me because I love blush. I love blush. Okay. I'm going to wait until the end to highlight because I want to see whether or not I should use a warm tone or a cool tone based on what eye colors I choose. Ooh, my hair is getting messier and messier as this tutorial goes on. Since this set of Mr. Right brushes from Too Faced pretty much has everything I need for an eye look, I'm just going to stick to using it for the whole thing. How cute is this Pretty Rich from Too Faced palette? Look. I'm gonna start with It's Cashmere all over just to even out any discoloration I have. It's also nice that this color is so light because it'll help show the pigment of anything else over it. Now, I didn't use a shadow primer because I have concealer on my lids and a light layer of it. Also because I want to be able to blend really well and I like to use a primer when I'm doing something like a cat eye, but for smoky eye, I find that concealer is enough for me. I'm going to take It's Cashmere all over my lid. I am going to define my crease with Fancy That. I love a little dome-shaped brush like this. I feel like I can really help carve out my eye. I'm always saying carve out my eye. It's like, what? I'm not a butcher. Oh, this color's so pretty. I keep my eyes super relaxed when I'm doing any sort of eyeshadow. I don't close them. I just keep a super natural, relaxed expression. So far, I've only used the matte colors from this palette, and it's beautiful. I love this look. We're going to add some sparkle later on, but I just want to say how thrilled I am about the impact that it has of just using mattes and how beautiful that can be. Now I'm going to use this shimmery bronze shade, Filthy Rich. I'm not quite going into the glitters yet, but this has a lot of shimmer. I'm excited. I'm using this with a fluffier brush than I normally would, but I just want a wash of the shimmer everywhere. Ooh. So I'm using a really, really light layer of it. You could go more intense, but you can almost barely see what I'm doing. I'm almost blending out with the shimmer shade. So what I would normally do with a clean brush, I'm doing with a bit of bronze shimmer. For a glitter that is in a palette like this, you're going to want to use your fingers. These are shades that are just meant to adhere directly to your skin, so that way they don't have any fallout. It's the way that they're designed, and I think that's why a lot of people get confused when they first take them home, because they're like, it's not sticking to my skin. It's supposed to go directly from skin to skin. So I go in right with my finger, and I am tapping right in the center of my eye. Since putting on the gold covered some of the earlier shadow, I'm gonna go back in and just add a bit more density with that plum Oh That's Rich shade. Going back and forth between looking in an up-close mirror and a farther away mirror, so I can see both eyes and one eye to make sure everything is even. To line my eyes, I'm going to mix together Kohl Under Pressure and Oh That's Rich. So I'm using a liner style brush. Kohl Under Pressure has a beautiful shimmer to it. I might just want to use that. Actually, let me just use that first. See if I want to add a little brown. I'm just tapping the color on. So easy to do this with a powder. Okay, now I'm gonna take Oh That's Rich and just ever so slightly. Now that liner is done, let's tap on a bit more gold above it. I'm going to use the Beverly Hills lashes from Luz Lashes. They're reusable silk lashes. This set is super, super fluffy. Thing you have to do when opening up a new pair of lashes, measure them to your eyes. Make sure that they fit. If they don't fit, you're going to trim from the longer end. So I like to hold them up with a pair of tweezers, measure up against my eye. I'm normally pretty good to go. These are gonna fit. And then you are going to apply the thinnest, little tiny layer of lash glue. Barely seeable, and wait for it to be almost dry, super tacky before you let it touch your eye. If it's not dry, that's when it flips all around. It's like flippity flop, not gonna stay put. And while it's drying, I like to bend it, play with it, kind of morph it around so it gets some flexibility. The reason I chose these lashes is because they're longest in the center for a Bambi look, And I put the glitter in the center of my eyes, so these should be good to go. Okay, see how easy? All right, let's do the bottom portion of our eyes. You still want to put on mascara, even with falsies, just to tie everything together. But it's mostly at the base. I'm going back into my Shapeshifter palette to highlight. I mean, doesn't that just complete a look? Makes your skin look like the perfect amount of wet. I'm going to use this mini version of Socialite from bareMinerals for my lips. We want a little pop of color since we're so dramatic with the eyes, with the face. This is the final version of our Ultra Glam makeup look. I hope you're feeling inspired. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them below. And I will see you guys next Wednesday on the Sloane Series. Make sure that you are subscribed and following on Instagram. Also, did you guys know that you can make a commission when you share the products that I've been talking about in these videos on your very own social platforms? If you want to learn more about the Q Crew, click below.